It's 11 p.m. A man is sitting alone on the roof of his apartment building in Chicago. His coffee is cold. He hasn't touched it. His wife is asleep downstairs. His 2 kids are asleep, and he's up here thinking. Yesterday, his boss called him into a conference room, closed the door, and in the calmest, most professional voice he'd ever heard, told him his position was being eliminated. Company restructuring. Nothing personal. 15 years. He gave that company 15 years of his life. Never missed a deadline, worked through Thanksgiving, answered emails on Christmas morning, and today they cut him loose like an expired contract. But here's what's eating him alive. It's not losing the job. It's that when he opened his banking app tonight, he had $847 in his account. 15 years of work. $847. Rent is due in 4 days. His daughter's school payment is next week, and the fridge has maybe 3 days of groceries left. He's sitting on that roof, staring at the skyline, and the only question running through his mind is, what did I do wrong? I'm not going to tell you that man's name, but I'll tell you this. This isn't one man's story. This is the story of millions of Americans who did everything they were told to do. Go to school, get a job, pay your taxes, save a little, repeat. And somehow, it still wasn't enough. Why? Today, I'm going to give you 13 rules. Not motivational fluff, not get-rich-quick garbage. These are the real rules of money. The ones wealthy families pass down to their kids. The ones never taught in any classroom.
I pulled them from the philosophy of one of history's most controversial and clear-eyed thinkers, Niccolò Machiavelli. A man who 500 years ago decided to see the world not as it should be, but as it actually is. And when this video ends, you won't be that man on the roof anymore. You'll be the man who never ends up there in the first place. Let's get into it.
Rule 1. Remove emotion from money decisions. I knew a guy, genuinely one of the kindest people I've ever met. Whenever a friend needed cash, he was there. Family emergency, he covered it. His coworker needed a loan, done. His neighbor needed help with rent, no problem. Today, he's $40,000 in debt, and most of the people he helped won't return his calls. Here's the hard truth. Money doesn't care about your feelings. Money doesn't reward guilt. It doesn't care that you felt obligated. It doesn't respect you for being the generous one at the table. When you spend from guilt, when you invest from fear, when you swipe your card to look successful, money quietly walks out the door. The people who build wealth treat money like a spreadsheet, not a therapy session. Rule 1. In financial decisions, heart off, brain on. Rule 2. Perception is a skill. 2 candidates walk into the same job interview. Equal resumes, equal experience. One walks in sharp, pressed shirt, clean shoes, calm confidence. He owns the room before he says a word. The other walks in and thinks, my work will speak for itself. Guess who got the offer? Machiavelli wrote, people judge by appearances far more than by reality. This is not about being fake. This is not about pretending. This is about understanding that the world makes its first judgment with its eyes. If you look valuable, you get treated as valuable. If you look like you don't take yourself seriously, neither will anyone else. Your brand, your presentation, your confidence, these are financial assets. Rule 2, how you show up is part of what you're selling. Rule 3, impatience is poverty in disguise. Double your money in 30 days. This crypto will 10x by next month. Join our program and quit your job in 60 days. You know who falls for these? People who are in a rush. And the people running these schemes know exactly who they're targeting. Meanwhile, the quietly wealthy, they plant seeds in February. Nobody sees, nobody claps, nobody posts about it. And then 7 years later, that seed is a tree tall enough to shade their entire family. Warren Buffett made 90% of his wealth after age 65, not because he got lucky late, because compounding rewards patience with interest. Rule 3, patience isn't weakness. It's the most powerful financial weapon you own. Rule 4, information is the real currency. In 2015, the people who recognized that YouTube was becoming a full-time career path, they're running 7-figure channels today. In 2018, the people who learned digital marketing when it was still early, they own agencies now. In 2020, the people who understood what remote work meant for real estate markets, they bought in the right places. Machiavelli's era had a simple rule. Whoever controls information controls power. That rule hasn't changed. The platform has. Books, courses, mentors, podcasts, these aren't expenses. They're the highest ROI investments you can make because knowledge is the one asset nobody can repossess. Rule 4, the most valuable thing you can own is what's inside your head. Rule 5, you cannot scale alone. Think about one person carrying boxes up a flight of stairs. Now think about a freight elevator. Same boxes, completely different output. That's the difference between grinding alone and building a network. You
You only have 24 hours. You can only be in one room at a time. But when the right people are in your corner, when 10 people are amplifying your work, referring clients, opening doors, your income doesn't just add, it multiplies. Here's the uncomfortable math. Take the 5 people you spend the most time with, average their incomes. That number is almost exactly where your income is heading. Rule 5. Your network isn't a nice to have. It's a financial forecast.
Rule 6. Stop chasing everyone's approval. There's always that person at work who never says no. Need overtime? Done. Need them to cover your shift? Done. Negotiate a lower rate for the client? Sure. Does that person get promoted? Almost never. Because when you say yes to everything, your yes becomes worthless. Machiavelli warned, the prince who tries to please everyone empties himself. Strategic people know that your time is a currency. Every time you spend it on something that doesn't move you forward, you're running a deficit. Learn to say no without guilt, without a long explanation. Rule 6. Protect your time like you protect your bank account. Rule 7. Be respected, not just liked. 2 freelancers. One bends on every project. Discounts, deadline extensions, extra revisions, no complaint. The other has a rate card, clear deliverables, and a simple policy. These are my terms. I'd love to work with you. Who gets paid on time? Who gets taken seriously? The second one, every time. Nice in business doesn't mean being a pushover. It means being clear. When you have no boundaries, people don't respect you. They use you. Rule 7. In the financial world, nice guys finish last. Clear professionals finish first.
Rule 8. Adapt or become irrelevant. Nokia. At one point, Nokia owned the mobile phone market. They had the money, the engineers, the brand loyalty, and they decided not to change. Today, Nokia is a punchline, a nostalgia reference. Money flows toward evolution, toward new thinking, toward people who are willing to reinvent. If the skills you're selling today are the same ones you learned a decade ago, and you haven't added anything new, you're not standing still. You're falling behind. The world doesn't wait. Rule 8. Adapt continuously, or the market will replace you.
Rule 9. Debt is a chain. Know what you're chaining yourself to. You wake up, EMI notification, lunch break, credit card balance flashes in your head. Trying to sleep, student loan math keeps you up. Ask yourself, who am I actually working for? Because if most of your paycheck is leaving before you can breathe, you're not building wealth. You're servicing debt. Here's the difference. Wealthy people borrow to buy assets, property, equipment, business infrastructure, things that generate more money than they cost. Everyone else borrows for liabilities. The latest iPhone, the car they couldn't really afford, the vacation that went on a card. Debt isn't inherently evil. It's a tool. The question is, what are you building with it? Rule 9. Use debt as a lever, not a leash. Pin. Rule 10. Never depend on a single stream. If your entire financial life depends on one income source, one job, one client, one product, you are one bad quarter away from the man on the roof. That's not paranoia. That's math. The wealthy don't just earn. They build streams. A job that pays the bills, a side skill that brings in extra, an investment account quietly compounding in the background. Small rivers merge into big ones, and if one dries up, the others keep flowing. Start small, one stream at a time. Rule 10. Diversify your income the way smart investors diversify a portfolio. Rule 11. Real wealth is quiet. The loudest people on Instagram aren't the richest. They're often the most leveraged. The guy posting every vacation, every gadget unboxing, every new watch. Behind that feed is usually a stack of monthly payments. The person quietly maxing their 401k, quietly buying index funds, quietly building equity. They don't post about it. They don't need to. Machiavelli wrote, do not reveal your intentions until they are already accomplished. Because when you announce what you have, people want to take it. Rule 11. Smart money is silent money. Pin Rule 12. The gap between rich and poor is measured in time horizon. Friday, paycheck hits. The average person thinks, what am I doing this weekend? The wealth building person thinks, how much goes into investments this month? What's my position in 10 years? That mindset difference, played out over 20 years, creates completely different lives. When you think long term, your daily decisions shift. You don't buy the thing that feels good now, you invest in the thing that compounds later. Today's discomfort is tomorrow's freedom. Rule 12. The length of your thinking determines the trajectory of your life. Rule 13. Money is brutal, but it doesn't play favorites. This is the final rule, and the most important. Money doesn't care about your backstory. It doesn't care that you grew up with nothing. It doesn't care that the odds were stacked against you. It doesn't care that you tried. Money only tracks one thing. What did you actually do? How much did you learn? How many times did you fail and come back? How many uncomfortable moves did you make anyway? Action attracts money. Excuses repel it. This isn't fair, but it's real. And the sooner you accept it, the sooner you stop waiting for someone to hand you a shot, the faster everything changes. Rule 13. The market rewards action.
So, 13 rules. Before you close this video, I want you to do one thing. Think about about the rule that hit different? The one that made you think, that's been my blind spot. Drop it in the comments right now, but don't just name it. Write one specific thing you'll change starting today. Not I'll do better. Something concrete. Rule 10, I'm starting a side skill this weekend. Rule 9, no new credit card purchases for 30 days. Rule 3, I'm deleting that get rich quick group I joined. One line. That's it. Because people who write their commitments down are dramatically more likely to follow through. That's not motivation talk. That's behavioral science. And that comment you leave, someone else is going to read it. Someone who's sitting exactly where you are right now. Your one line might be the thing that shifts their entire trajectory. If this video gave you something, subscribe to Breaking Barriers Finance. This is where we talk about the things school never covered, the rules the wealthy already know. And share this with the one person in your
Who you thought of at the very beginning. When I told that story about the man on the roof, you know who they are. Send it.